Just getting ready for you. Just getting ready.
But it saves stopping the video so that you can put your lip gloss on, doesn't it?
Or go to the loo. Actually, it was you last time.
No,
Am I sitting on your cardi, love?
I needed to go to the loo before.
So, okay, it all got a bit rude the last time we on episode 8.
Well, no, I missed.
No, because I said to Jay. Jay was saying that he left because George sucks on a fisherman friend.
Yeah.
And Jay said he was sucking on a fisherman friend and left it on the side. And George picked it up. And he went, and I went, oh, was he sucking on your fisherman's friend?
Oh, no, he was. Yeah, that's true. Oh, Jesus.
So we were talking about tour stories because, as I explained in episode 8, I've never actually got to go on tour with these guys. I mean, we did a lot of work together.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, loads of TVs.
Loads of TVs. And all I was doing was waiting for George to go on tour. But
yeah, but you know, it was once every 10 years or something.
Yeah. But anyway, we were talking about the Vics, and there's that picture of you of the Vic. So we didn't get to finish that story. So do you want to finish that story?
Oh yeah. So. Yeah, I think everyone knows there's been tons of pictures. George used to walk around with the Vicks thing up his nose just to clear his sinuses. And so we were like, George, why have you got that thing up your nose? And he goes, oh, yeah. And we take it out. And we thought, okay, when we were in Paris, we went, right, okay, let's go into the dressing room to do the warm-up. But we'll all go in with the things up our nose. So we go in. He's standing there waiting for us. We go in and he's all of us with the thing. He didn't bat an eyelid.
Did he not?
No, like he didn't acknowledge that we had them there he just was like, okay, let's just we're like, hello, do you know? And he went, oh yeah, that's funny. Okay, and just let's do it all. But that was so him. He was in his own zone at the time. Yeah, he just literally was like, we didn't have anything.
But who captured that picture? Because there's that picture of you all.
Yeah, so after that, I think David was filming us doing the warm up that day.
David Austin,
yeah. And then when we came out, and Caroline True was there, and I think there was another photographer as well, and she said, oh, let's get a picture. And we went, okay, because we told her the story that we walked in and he just ignored us. And then she went, okay, let's let George put it up his nose, and then we did the picture.
Oh, brilliant.
And then we took some other pictures with him, I think. I'm not sure if I did one with it up my nose or not with him, or maybe he just had it. But yeah, and it's a great picture to have. I mean, it's just
brilliant.
Classic.
But that's his sense of humour, isn't it?
He's
brilliant.
But then he was like, oh yeah, it's funny. And then he did it for the picture.
Talking of pictures, it's so funny because we've been doing all these interviews and everything, and like they always ask for like footage of stuff with us with George. Well, but there is loads of footage, but we haven't got any personal pictures. We've got like a handful of personal pictures because there wasn't any. We weren't in mobile phone worlds then, were we? I mean, there wasn't even. I didn't even have a mobile phone.
There was no social. I mean, there was like Twitter towards the end, but it wasn't like Instagram wasn't. No
one was kind of going.
No, and also when you're out with your friends,
yeah,
we never, like, maybe we had a Polaroid every now and again, but you're not taking a camera out with you when you're out. So when you're with your mate, you're like, I'm with you all day. Why would we take a picture?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, why are you taking pictures of your mate? It would be weird. Now it wouldn't, of course. So if we were out, George would actually hate it because he'd be like, oh no, I hate that picture of me. I hate that picture of me. I don't think he would like all this lives and all of that.
I don't think he would have been comfortable with it either.
No, but so we don't have tons of images. Like when we do find one, it's like, oh my god, it's classic. Yeah. Like the one of me and you when we did MTV Unplugged, the radio. We did the radio, didn't we? Before or was it after the show? We did
the radio.
We did a BBC Two. We did the MTV Unplugged for BBC Two, and it was just a radio. And that was the picture of me, you, and George in the dressing room. That was when we took that.
Oh right, okay.
But yeah, you were saying that like when you came in to do MTV Unplugged.
Yeah.
And you'd not worked with any of us, obviously, because you were just with George, weren't you? Like
I'd literally just, I'd obviously signed to his label, which I've told you the story of. Then obviously ended up recording loads of backing vocals on the older album, which I've kind of touched on, but maybe I haven't. I'll have to look at some of the episodes to see if I've actually spoken about that. But maybe if I haven't, then we'll elaborate on that another time. And then it was like, so we're doing MTV Unplugged, and I remember rocking up at rehearsals. I was so nervous. Have I spoken about this?
I don't think you have.
On this, I don't know, but if I have, I'm repeating myself, so you're just going to have to listen to the story again.
That's what happens when you get old, you sort of start repeating.
I've got my handbag, so I'm wearing
she's dressed all ladylike
crochet
today.
needles in there. Now I remember knowing that we were going to be doing it, and I, at this point, didn't know whether I was going to be singing soprano part or whether I was going to be singing alto or the root. I didn't know where I was going to be placed. So I rehearsed 6 weeks prior to the rehearsals.
Oh, what, you learned every part?
I learnt every single part.
Oh, bloody hell.
Every single part, everything.
Wow.
So when I arrived there, I was like 2 hours early. I remember walking. What was the rehearsal?
3 meals. 3 meals.
That's right, 3 meals.
In Bow, isn't it?
That's right. I arrived 2 hours early, and I was so nervous.
Wow.
So nervous. It's the first live thing that I've ever done in that scenario, working with other singers, working with a band. Never up to that point, I'd only ever worked in the studio.
Yeah, that must have been well intimidating, because you're thinking,
so
oh my god, these people have
overwhelmed.
worked with him for so long.
Well, that's...
Oh no, to be honest with you, it wasn't. Laurie and Sharon hadn't been working with him that long. Really.
No.
They only did part of the cover to cover tour when me and Jay jumped off of it. That's another story we'll tell you at another time when Jay's here. Actually.
Okay.
We'll tell you that story. But what was it like for you? And we were just talking about it. We were having coffee and we started talking about this. And I said, oh my God, don't tell me, because there's so many things. We're together all the time, but there's so many things I still don't know. So I wanted to ask you.
Episode.
The continuation of we don't know what episode, but I basically just asked Jo
Conversations with the George Michael singers.
about what it was like to go from that kind of mate situation with George to, you know, and obviously she was recording with him and had spent a ton of time with him, going on holiday with him. Just for the record, he never invited me to the south of France thing. George? What was that about? Anyway, so yeah, what was that like?
Well, it was, firstly, let me just quickly recap before I answer that question, because firstly, that was the first live thing I've ever done in a situation with a full-on band and a massive choir, singers, musical director, everything, and that sort of set up. Never done anything like that, just gone from studio to that. So firstly, I was literally pooping my pants. I'd obviously learned every single part just in case, because I didn't know what was required of me, so I just was super prepared.
That's pimp, man.
Yeah, I know. I was on it, and I just would like to say how incredibly warm and kind and generous of spirit you were. I remember. You just scooped me up and just made me feel immediately comfortable with your lovely smiley energy. So I just needed to say that. But then, you know, to answer your question, obviously I'd been George's mate. I know he'd signed me to his record label and we had done loads of stuff creatively together, but it always felt like I was working with my mate. It never ever did I ever feel like it was George Michael. It was a shock when I first got that phone call from George Michael, but even when I went to meet him at his house and we sat on the floor,
you had like an immediate.
I just immediately felt.
Yeah, but you know what? I know, because personality-wise, I mean, we are kind of, well, our voices are very like, but I think personality-wise, we're like each other as well. So he definitely liked. This is why
this is so nice doing this.
He definitely had a personality type.
Definitely,
and was comfortable with.
Yeah, definitely. But so it to answer your question, how did I feel?
Yeah, how did you make the transition?
In that transition, on that particular day, it was really. I mean, the only thing that I can describe it as was I found it really hard, because I had to think about. I was more aware not of him or how he was making me feel, because he was super professional, as he always is.
Yeah,
he came in, and it was almost like he was George Michael when he walked into that room. Which was, I was like, oh, okay, you're a superstar.
Must have been weird for him too, though.
But I, every so often I'd kind of look at him and he'd give me that little twinkly look, and I'd give him my little naughty little smile or whatever. Yeah. But on that particular day, I was so uncomfortable anyway, because I was in such a new environment. I was very mindful and responsible that I was there because George had employed me, and so I didn't want to tread on anyone's toes or make anyone or him. I wasn't, I didn't want to be like the special one. So, do you know what I mean? I didn't know anybody's relationship with him, and that's like, once you go into the music business and you tour, it's quite funny because that thing continually happens, because it's like people management. It really is. You have to manage people, and there's loads of different egos, and you don't know how some people are really mellow. Some
people are going to react to you being like George's mate, because that's the other thing is we did have a lot of people come into this scenario of being someone's friend. Like David might have seen a girl singing in a club or something, and then he'd bring her into. And then we're like, oh no, not another one. It's like, do you know what I mean? So
did you guys think that of me?
It was George's mate was coming in. That was what it was.
So you knew that?
Yeah. So it wasn't like
So who told you that? Who's
George? Oh, yeah. He said, a friend of mine's coming in, going to be singing part of it, and we were like, oh, cool. Like,
so you didn't think, oh, not another one?
No, we were like, no, because this was George. He said.
Okay.
It wasn't like the rest of them were kind of like David Austin's friend or. Andros's friend or something, and then we were going, oh bloody hell, like who is this going to be? Can they sing? 9 times out of 10 we just had their vocals down and they were never heard anyway, so whoops.
It's out there now.
Yeah, so no, but George was like, oh, a friend of mine who I've been working with is coming in to sing. We were like, oh well, he's been working with you, so that was already like, oh wow, like who is it? So we were a bit, although we might have been, we were still like, oh, who is this? Because she signed to George's label, so yeah. But,
oh god. But anyway, everyone was just so amazing, so warm, all of you, and as the days went on, I started to relax a lot more. Yeah. I think Chris Cameron was the musical director for that. Yes, no, he was not. I think he was. Yeah, he was. Yeah. He put me in the alto part, I think.
Yeah, so you were with Sharon. No, you were with Laurie.
I was with Laurie.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a funny.
She's so funny.
Funny.
A great singer too. Great singer.
Oh my, great singer,
but so funny.
So naughty. She's got a really dirty sense of humour. So I have a dirty sense of humour, so we laughed a lot. But Chris. I'll never forget what Chris said to me, because I would always arrive 2 hours, an hour early, and I was always the last to leave. And he said to me, "You're going to go far in this music business." Yeah. We're continuing the podcast. It's not a podcast. It's a YouTube channel. A YouTube channel. I can't get it out of my head. Can't get it out of my head. What's I saying?
You said that Chris Cameron said,
"Oh yes, you're going to
do well.
You're going to do well in that music business."
Chris Cameron said it.
He did, because he said you're always the first in and you're always the last out, and I've noticed that.
Chris Cameron.
Chris Cameron said that to me. You're on film, so be careful about what you say.
Well, I'll tell you now, for the record, Chris Cameron would have never said anything like that to Jay.
Oh hell no.
Come here. Get in.
Sorry, I can talk about it.
No,
I'm not. No. Right, I'll tell you the truth, nothing but the truth.
No,
this is going out,
sorry.
So you like
it's
like
you know what,
you can speak freely.
It's unfiltered.
This is like a counselling session.
Yeah, we're getting all of our grievances out. No, he's a great. Listen, he is an incredible MD. He's an incredible musician, singer. I mean, everything.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a great singer. Oh my god.
He used to sing in a band called Socks.
Socks.
They were like Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yeah, and
they were like Earth, Wind and Fire.
They were the support band for my sister's tour.
Really?
That's how I met Chris when I was 14. I've known Chris Cameron since I was 14.
Oh my god.
He's an amazing.
See what I'm saying?
And they had a song called Socks.
Yeah, they were good, right? Yeah, they were really good. They were one of the...
Sorry, I take that back. I shouldn't have laughed, but it was just the name.
No, Socks.
No, it was a great band.
They was one of the best bands of that time. There was them, Central Line, Midnight Express.
Central Line.
Yeah.
And Midnight Express.
Yeah. And Chris is a great singer. Yeah. In fact, me and Chris did that Jive Talking song.
Yeah.
First, me and Chris were doing.
Jive
We
Talking.
were doing all the vocals, and then I told you George took most of them off, and then he.
Not the Bee Gees, Jive Talking.
Bee Gees. I was doing the lead, and
Oh, that's why it
Chris
sounded
was
like
doing the
It was good.
the background. It was good.
It was really good.
really good. But then
Well,
he took
you
my
thought I was gonna
vote.
say something
Then he took
negative,
my.
right?
I don't know.
Then
I
he
don't know
took
what
my
you're going to
voice.
say.
I weren't being facetious.
He took my voice off of it, and then George put his voice on it, and then I was just doing the background.
Get
voice.
in,
Oh, he took your
Get
voice
in,
off.
you're not in it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it was. Listen, it's still out there. The original kind of demo.
Look, I'm getting a tan.
Well,
Got my legs out the window.
Leatherman's back now.
Leatherman's
Look how
back.
white my legs are.
Just for everyone, Leatherman is our driver, but he's my
name's-
brother.
His name's Keith.
His name's Keith. Are you not?
Oh, yeah. They're nice chairs, aren't they?
That's Leatherman.
We're just finished. We're going to finish it off. I guess,
let's
'cause
finish. Because we've got to get on the road. We're on the
we're
road
on the
to
road,
Manchester.
yeah.
I was just talking to them about my experience with MTV Unplugged and how nervous I was, and the transition from sort of being, George's mate, protege, to the sort of into backing
He
vocalist.
was really quiet in those days.
Yeah, I found my voice
I miss
now.
those days. Sorry.
That's funny. Anyway, on that note, I think we'll leave this episode, and we have no idea. Actually, 8, 9. This could be episode 10.
This could be episode
But
10.
we ain't sure yet.
We are currently on show 3 on our tour.
Yeah. And
We are
Doesn't
loving
it feel like
this.
it's longer though?
So
right?
good.
No, I just, do you know what? I just want to keep
I
going.
feel like I just, world
I
tour.
like
I
it.
just,
World
it's
tour
just,
coming
Cool,
up.
absolutely.
I just
How are you up
honestly.
for driving on the world tour, Ladderman?
I will take the ladder with me. Just in case. Actually, did I tell you?
Yeah, go on.
Go on, tell us. Keep it clean, keep it clean.
Is the camera on you? Is it?
I actually bought a ladder, a new ladder, last week.
Did you?
Yes.
What? Why did you buy a new ladder?
Well, I felt I needed
Well, the story of Ladderman is.
Do they know the meaning of ladder?
Right, I'm going to tell
Because
them.
I
now.
don't even know what
Okay,
it is.
my sister, my lovely sister Linda, who passed away a couple of years ago now, always
I
used.
wish I met her
Cool, she was
properly and,
brilliant.
hang,
She was
and
so
hung
nice.
out with
She
her.
was
I
amazing.
really
Crazy
do.
man.
No
So
energy.
she used to call him Ladderman because every time she came over to the house, he's in and out of the house with his freaking ladder on
And he
his
is.
shoulder.
He is.
And she used to tell, every time I see him, he's got that bloody ladder and I don't know what he's doing with it. And then she ended up calling him Ladderman.
Ladderman, wow.
So when I've been talking to Jo about Linda, because sometimes Jo really reminds me of her because she's so nuts as well. And she sometimes is singing something and I go, oh, sounds like Linda. So and then I was just chatting about Keith, and then she just started saying Ladderman, and I was like, well, you'd heard me say
Yeah,
it. Then
yeah,
it just,
that's it,
and
stuck.
she's got, I think Linda's jumped into your body.
She has. She's with
Like
us.
ghost.
Yeah,
She's
so
with us.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
continuing
So
on.
we've got Linda and George
Linda
with us.
and George, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, on the road.
we're on the road again.
On the road again. Me and you. Don't you know this song?
No.
See,
No.
it's an old song because I'm the old bitch here, and I remember stuff from the 60s, and they don't. So.
Canned heat.
I wasn't even
Oh, there you
born.
go.
Is
See,
it?
On the road again.
on the road again. See,
By who?
Canned heat.
Who?
Who?
canned heat.
Can't do.
Eddie.
Me and
No,
you
we were
and a
6 though,
dog
weren't we?
named. But don't you know that song?
No.
Traveling and living on the land. Oh,
Sounds
bloody
terrible.
hell. Me and you and a dog named Boo, travelling and living on the land. That's what it's called. Okay, does
I'm
anyone...
out.
Oh, wait a minute. Does anybody remember Leo Sayer?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now...
I
when...
am sailing on.
No, that's Robert Stewart.
Sorry.
Right. What was that song called, Keith, where he was like on the M6 motorway?
Jay, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, he did that as well. But when we came on the M6, he did a song about the M6 as well. Yeah, yeah. If only they knew they were giving it away. Moonlighting.
Jukebox on the jury or something.
Jukebox Jury. You can't remember that. That was in the 50s. Okay, we've taken a wrong turn here.
We have.
And we're going to
Told you Linda was.
We're
So
taking-
that was Linda talking.
That was Linda. Yes, Jukebox. She would not. That was Linda. Jukebox Jury is the program that Linda used to watch when she was a kid. How would you know that?
I didn't know that.
Linda, she's inside you.
This is getting scary.
telling you,
I'm leaving, guys.
Isn't it, Keith?
I'm out.
Shout, give it 5.
No, you're staying.
Was that, who's the girl who
I
shouted,
can't.
give it 5?
I don't remember who that. That was Sandy Shaw, wasn't
No,
it?
it was on the Jukebox Jury because they used to have a.
Yeah, she was married to Michael Ball, or is married to Michael Ball.
Who's
No,
that?
Oh, I know.
You know the girl.
Jukebox
Yeah, what's
Jury,
her
they used to have a panel.
A panel, that's
And
right.
they used to vote. They used to vote.
Vote,
didn't they?
yeah.
And there was
Oh
one
my
girl that
God, you would not know.
I'm
Jukebox Jury.
telling you, I am spiritual.
Give it 5.
Give it
Everyone-
5, yeah.
everyone used to
Yeah,
give it-
stay where you are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. Anyway, we've taken
slowly
a
sinking
turn
down. I'm getting
down to
scared.
like the 50s. But
Are we
anyway,
going now?
we'll see you next time.
Yeah, that'll be episode 11. Hang on.
Right.
Don't we say thank you for watching?
Oh yeah, sorry.
We've got to do that
Right.
thing. What have we got to do?
So please subscribe to our channel, which is Conversations with the George Michael Singers,
Yeah.
and follow us on Instagram at the George Michael Singers.
That's it. It's at the George Michael
at the
Singers.
George Michael
And our website is www.thegeorgemichaelsingers.com, so you can check out all like dates that we're doing and what's coming up and
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be jumping in from time to time and
Yes.
gate
Yeah.
crashing.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Not allowed to.
Yeah, and next time we'll keep it. Oh, to George Michael. We just went off on a tangent today, but that's Linda's fault. Bye. Bye.